What's up, guys? Today I had my monthly challenge workout, and it's been a while since I talked about these, so I figured I'd go over it again for anyone new to the channel. So a couple years ago, I read a book by Steve Justa called Rock, Iron, and Steel, the Book of Strength. And in that book, he talks a lot about strength endurance and the power that it has. And in that book, he's not talking about strength endurance in terms of a set of 20 or a set of 30 or something like that. He's talking about strength endurance for an hour, two, sometimes an entire day. The example he gives in the book, and I'm kind of just paraphrasing here, it's been a little while, but he's working at this factory, and there's this small guy that he sees every day who works on a conveyor belt. And every minute or two, this guy lifts this heavy thing off the belt, does something to it, and puts it back, I think. Well, one day that guy gets sick, and they ask Steve if he could take over for the day. And being the strong meathead that he is, he says, yeah, I'll have no problem doing that. And so he takes the shift. Well, after an hour, he realizes this is a specific type of strength that he doesn't have. He's just completely wiped after an hour of doing that same thing over and over. So he kind of got hooked on the idea. And in the book, he has some really crazy examples. I definitely recommend checking it out if you're interested in that type of thing. But ever since I read that book, I've been using stones to kind of replicate it in my own way. I'll usually do something like, today I took my medium-sized stone. It's pretty small at this point, I guess, but I took it for 50 laps around the yard. Sometimes I'll take my next biggest stone and do 30, sometimes 35 laps, and just kind of gives you a bit of a reset. I have noticed an increase in work capacity, and I do feel like I'm stronger since I started doing these. It also just gets you really familiar with the stones that you're lifting, and I like that a lot, but for me, it's that reset I like. I usually do these on the full moon just because I think the full moon is cool and it gives me a bit of extra motivation. I've said this before, but I worked with dogs for a long time, and it's true that on the full moon, the dogs are different. There's kind of a wild energy in the air, and I feel like I'm kind of able to pick up on that on these days. At least that's what I tell myself. But that reset, something about working so hard for so long, it kind of just wipes you out completely, physically and mentally. Especially on these hotter days, my brain just feels, it's fried. It's completely gone. I've had to record this thing a lot of times because I just can't think right. And you could see that as a bad thing, but for me, really, it kind of just sets me up to start fresh, I guess. Tomorrow I come back and it's as if I'm ready to take on another month. So that's kind of why I do it. It's really fun to do. You don't have to do it on the full moon. I like doing it with stones because I feel like that's kind of an extra connection to nature in a way, which kind of goes with the full moon thing. But really, it's just something cool you could add into your program. I probably wouldn't do it more than once or twice a month because I am going to be a bit worn out for the next couple days, but definitely recommend it. If you haven't tried it before, you'll definitely be humbled. I just wanted to add one last thing real quick before I end the video. I haven't talked about this before, but it seems like as good a time as any, so why not, right? Over the last year, these stone challenge workouts have taken on a completely new meaning for me. I don't consider this a workout. I think of this as a ritual. I call it a ritual of stone because I think it sounds cool, and I'm also lifting stones. But essentially behind the scenes, what's going through my mind is I'm trying to feel that wild and slightly chaotic full moon energy, that energy that's capable of making the tides. And I'm letting it fill me with strength. And then I'm using that strength to push myself to the absolute limit. These workouts are not easy. It takes a lot out of you, and it takes a lot of willpower to keep going. And that's what I like about it. So I use that strength, and to complete the chain, I imagine that all of the effort and all of the energy that I'm putting out there is being transferred into the earth, sort of as a way to honor the land, I guess. And you know, it makes me feel good, so I keep doing it. Whether that's something you agree with or not, we can't deny the fact that it's still a good workout in any case. So again, thanks for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys next time.